What's up guys, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, and I hope you've had a good week. Now last week I said I would do a Q&A, so here is the Q&A. One thing before you go, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you for all the new subscribers that have joined the channel, thank you so much. Yes, for bricklaying related content and general stuff, bricklaying stuff, construction, bit of comedy, planes, typers, cars, the lot. Holidays, vlogs. Alright guys, cheers. Hope you enjoy. First question's off Ben Taylor, who bought the feature arch off me, and he says, "Hi Stu, it was a pleasure meeting you and building your arch feature. Is there any chance of bringing the Motivation Monday videos back? I really found them inspiring." So I used to do these videos every Monday on motivation, and I went through a bit of a change and a spiritual awakening in 2015, and I tried to like share those videos of what was happening with my life and how I could possibly pass that information on to other people. So I was doing that every Monday, but it kind of tailed off. So I think he's talking about them. I mean, I can bring them back, but well, I don't know how they're going to be received, you see, because I don't know. And they're mostly thought to help me as well. You know, when I talk about motivating things, it's to motivate myself as well. It's not just to get the information out there, but because I think everybody needs that, don't they? They need a good slap on the back to keep themselves driving forward. So I may bring them back, Ben, in the future, or yeah. I would say I'm going to bring them back, Ben. Next one is from SUJY. "Hi Stu, do you think you will ever visit colleges? I'm at Western College and doing bricklaying, and we're all fans. Plus, do you play Fortnite?" Well, mate, yeah, I do plan to visit colleges. I think that'd be a cool idea, you know. I think I've seen another channel do it. A plumber visited a college the other week, and it was really interesting. So I thought, yeah, I might do that. I don't know how I'm going to go about it. Whether you could ask your tutors and email me. My email's in the link in the description box below. If you could email me about how I would go about it, then that'd be great. Also, do I play Fortnite? Yes. Now, I don't play computer games because I've not got much time for it, but I bought a gaming laptop in Dubai, and to test it out, you know, mainly for video editing, but to test it out on the gaming side, I got Fortnite, which is a big error. So you can add me on a PC, Fortnite, Bricky Stew. Hans Weekland says, "Hi, I'm restoring an old German cottage with very soft red old brick, which is 300 years old. As normal cement mortar is too hard, it has to be lime mortar. Which would you use? Hydrated or hydraulic lime? And which ratio?" So I would just go with hydrated lime in that one, Hans, mate. Yeah, to keep it simple. And the ratio, I'd just go 4:1, just standard, really. Moonman Guitar. "Hi Stu, long time supporter of your work. You are, mate, and thank you very much for that. Just a quick question, what motivates you to keep doing what you're doing, or what's your biggest motivation in life?" Good question. Basically, I've touched on this before, Moon, and I want to create, my goal in life is to create financial freedom for me and my future family, to create a healthy environment for them to live in with freedom and choices. And I won't stop until I get to that point. I'm miles away from it, but I'm staying present and working hard. You know what I mean? Average is just not, it's not good enough, you know what I mean? There's a high percentage of people living in the UK that just live week by week, and they're just doing enough, and they're happy with average. For some reason, I am not. There's more to life. Have you seen how much money's in the world? There's billions and billions of pounds. Now, everybody's entitled to their equal share of money. It's who's willing to go and get it, who's willing to put the work in to go and get what they deserve, and everybody deserves freedom. It's just not many people are willing to work for it. A little bit deep there, but hope that answers your question. Pros and cons of working on a site and doing small jobs on your own, Jake Ellis. It's just the freedom to do whatever you want and have nobody telling you what to do. That's the benefits of working for yourself, and as well you can make your own prices up, and you can up on what you think of yourself and your workmanship. Because you can't do that on site. You're actually told how much you can earn by prices. You are set the prices. All right, you can go fast and earn a lot of money, but at the end of the day, you are set prices by somebody else. You don't call the shots on site. You are just working for somebody else. What are your opinions on CSCS cards? Oeeks says, yeah, I think, yeah, in order, you need them, mate. You know what I mean? It's a health and safety thing, and I've still got mine. It's valid for 5 years, so I think I've got about 3 years left on it. Last time I did mine. You know, you need to be safe on site, so that's a good way of doing the test. You know, it's like a theory test for the driving test. It's like a theory for the site work. and everybody's got to have them. Lazy Lab Mora says, okay, he goes, what's your favourite pot noodle? It's chicken and mushroom, mate. Nothing else to say, really. MN asks a cracking question. How many times do you hit VTech on average per day? Well, it's very hard not to hit VTech in that car, mate. I'm enjoying every second of it, so I do spend a lot of time in VTech, but you've got to be careful, you know? Be safe. Paul McFadgen says, hi Stu, what do you think of your Evolution disc cutter? I know it's still cheaper than a still saw, but does it compare? Cheers Stu, keep up the good work with the channel, mate. They both have the pros and the cons, really. You know, I don't mind either. I like to use them both, but yeah. And it's down to the blade as well, what you use, which blade you use. But they're both decent cutters, you know, they're both bang on. I'm made up with both of them, especially the Evolution saw. John Gold says, what size, brand of spirit level do you find best to work with? Well, at the minute, mate, I'm really happy with my ox. It's dead solid and it works well for me. And it looks good. Before that I had a Stanley and it wasn't so good, it was a bit light and flimsy. So I'm guessing if you dropped it, more chance of it bending. So yeah, I have had a Stanley Fat Max before that. I have had a Stabila as well, a girder level, and that was all right, but that got dropped by my friend and it bent. So, but I'm now with the ox and I like it. Mitch says, hey Stu, I'm a second year bricklaying apprentice, all the way in Australia. I love my job and what I do, but just wondering what helps give you the motivation to do that little bit better than the rest. Cheers, Mitch. I wouldn't know, mate. I've got my goals, I've got my eyes on prizes I want in life and the freedoms and choices I want, and I'm just going for it, you know what I mean? I am working all the time until I reach that point where I'm free. So that's what drives me. And does it give me the edge? I suppose, I don't know. How do you manage your time? What are your daily habits compared to mine? I don't know. You've got to strive for major goals in life. It's no good setting your targets low and just achieving them and being happy in comfort. Comfort zone's a dangerous word, you know. Settle down is a dangerous word. Try and steer clear of them. Always be driving that way. Hi Stu, great vids. My question is, what do you prefer, private work or site work? Phil Jackson. Yeah, Phil, private work, because I mentioned it before that I dictate the prices. I don't have people setting prices for me, which is what happens on site. Cue the dislikes from site brickies. Hello Stu, what other trades are well paid? After I've done my bricklaying course, I might do another course in something else that I can use in the winter months. Thanks, Scott Jeffrey. Yeah, Scott, I mean, like, that's good that you want to learn other things, mate. That's brilliant. So, other trades. I don't know, plastering. You could do a little plastering course, you know, that's a decent thing. That's inside as well, so that's one to look at. Maybe look at self-teaching yourself in other things like online design, graphic design, something like that. Just keep your finger in many pies. Insert your own joke there. Cut the beep. How many do you lay on average? Just 500, I would say, mate. 500 neatly and perfectly laid bricks. You can't go wrong with that. I could lay 1,000, but they'd be rough. Like everybody else that lays 1,000 brick, they are rough. Have you ever worked on price, Stu? And if so, how many bricks did you wall a day? I have worked on price, Shawnee Apple. The last site we worked on was Leyland. We was laying four panels, so 100. That was laying 500 block in a day. 500 6-inch block in a day between us. And on the brickwork side, we've done on the last house I built in Preston. It was a technical house, but we had on a couple of good runs on the gable. We'd throw it up 1,500 bricks, something like that, between us, or 750 at a push. Because even though I'm pushing, I still have to be neat. What's the worst bricklaying experience you've ever had? Says GB. I suppose when I dropped a 6-inch block on my thumb, pure, just crushed it against the scaffold and it killed me. Oh, I thought my hand was going to fall off. Other than that, mate, probably made the whole of my apprenticeship. So, but we got through that, didn't we? How much do brickies normally get paid? About £1,500 a week now, mate. But in the recession, it was about £70 a day. So it depends on the economy as well. So you've got to be careful, haven't you? That's why I say learn more skills. then just don't rely on bricklaying. Try and learn something on the side. When you get home from work, I know you might be tired, but try and learn something then in that time. Instead of putting your feet up, watching the telly, getting cans of Stella, right? Learn something else. Because, you know, who knows what's around the corner with another recession? You don't know, do you? And then everything's, boom, gone again. So what would you be doing if you wasn't a bricklayer, Chris Parker? Well, I'm actually doing that anyway because I'm many things, Chris. So, you know, I've done graphic design, web design, doing some acting. Hopefully I can get paid from that in the future. That's one of my goals, to be a professional actor. So that's something I enjoy really, really much. If I wasn't a bricklayer, I'd probably be some kind of artist. Something to do with creating something. You know, I've always created something artistic. But bricklaying's artistic anyway, isn't it? So, Ken Brandon, what music do you like? And don't say a bit of everything, because those people shrivel up as soon as anything heavier than Bon Jovi comes on. Haha. Yeah, I like any kind of music, Ken. No. Now, my friend Joe from school, he's into metal, so he's took me to a few metal concert things. So I do like a bit of metal and, you know, acoustic songs, soul, jazz, classical. I like classical music as well. So, and a bit of dance when I was a bit younger. Eshadeep Basran, what's your favourite wall to build? Keep up the good work. Favourite wall to build? Do you know what? I see myself as one of them old brickies, me, that used to use the thin joints, you know, build with the thin joints because there's no room for error there. Flemish bond, 5mm beds and perps. Yeah. And I'm planning on doing a video soon, actually going around Wigan, because there's a few nice bits of architecture around Wigan, you know, some old churches, old courts and stuff. So I'm going to make a video on some nice structures around Wigan, which most people don't see, you know, but brickies do, you know. So I will make a video about that. Who is the ultimate trade? Malio. The ultimate trade. Well, I suppose we're all needed, aren't we? All tradies are needed, but nobody else has got a trade unless the bricklayer creates the house for the tradies to work in. Yeah, ever thought of that? Because we build the footings, all right? And we can jump in the digger and do the groundworks job, so we can do that. So we'll put the groundworkers first, then the brickies, and then everybody else. Upload more bricklaying stuff, please. All right, Aaron, calm down. Like I don't upload enough bricklaying stuff. It's just bricklaying all the time. Joseph Bennett, I'm not sure what you mean, mate, but normally you do thermalite block on the inside and concrete block on the external skin, so that can be rendered. And the thermalite, because it's what it says on the tin, it's more thermal for the inside and insulation. Tom Coyne, hey Stu, any tips for perfect brick with corner? Yes, mate, just take your time and make sure your joints are full and make sure you know how to range plumb. Yeah, pretty simple really, isn't it? What made you want to work with your dad? Josh Fountain. Actually, Josh, just because I need money. You know, you don't see it so much, but me and my dad really argue and fight like cat and dog on the site. It's unbelievable. But we are where we are, and we have to do what we have to do. So I have to do it to survive until I can get to a point where I can do things on my own. I can't believe how windy it's like going to hurricane in a minute. John Barker, tell us about your RC plane and drone, and do you plan any videos? Actually, John, I intend to take my planes out and do some videos of drones and planes soon, hopefully when the weather gets a bit better and it's not blowing a gale. Yeah, so thanks for that, mate. Ricky Mason, all right, mate. My question, how are you, big man? Anything interesting going on? Big jobs, theatre stuff, Mrs. Stu? No Mrs. Stu yet, unfortunately, mate. Big jobs, always got big jobs going on, Ricky pal, and theatre stuff. I'm actually appearing in a show on Sunday in Wigan at the Old Courts. It's a showcase for new writers, and I play a scally in one scene and a enthusiastic salesman in another scene. Mrs. Stu, not just yet, mate. Like I say, I've not got time. I have not got time. Relationships are hard work. You need to make a lot of sacrifices in your life for relationships. And if you're doing things that I'm doing, you've not got time for a relationship. At the minute, I'm being quite selfish, but in the same respect, I've got the targets on my future family, trying to create an environment of freedom for them. So I'm not that selfish, but it might appear that I am being selfish at this moment in time, being a single lad, you know what I mean? But I'm not. But when I am ready, my girlfriend will probably be Asian or Thai, because I like Thai women. If anybody's been to Thailand, please, I want to know you in the comments. Crazy Mofo. What are the standard brick dimensions in your area? Mine are 230, 115, 70, about 75 mil. Standard is 215 by 65 by 1 or 2.5 mil. How can we build a wall in English bond style? Francisco Vieira. I've got a video on that if you just search English bond wall. If brickies were replaced by robots and it was no longer a trade, hope it never happens, what trade would you like to do instead? Daniel Barlow. Daniel Barlow, what trade? If I had to choose, Daniel, I'd probably... Good question, mate. I like joinery and plastering. I like plastering. Groundworks, not too much groundworks. No, I don't like groundworks. I'd probably say joinery because I like wood. Wood's creative and you can do all sorts with wood. What age did you start bricklaying and why? Guna 94. That's the last question, Guna. I started when I was 23. Yeah, so, well, I've done jobs with my dad, bricking up doors and stuff, when I was 19, 20, the odd job. Do a bit like, but I went to college eventually when I was 23. And why? Because it's creative. Everything I've done is creative, and bricklaying's another one of them things. What you can do with bricks and mortar, the possibilities are endless, and that's where I like to keep it. I hate sites nowadays because it's just one on top of the other, stretcher bond, everything's preformed. I hate it. If I ever have a house building bricklaying company, I'll get the best brickies and we'll be doing Flemish bond features, the toughest houses in the world to build, and that'll be a uniqueness. Anyways guys, that's it now. I'll wrap it up. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate your time. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like rating. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you very soon in the next one. Cheers.